Merry Christmas. It's Christmas Eve 2023, and this is part 2 of a swatching I did with the 360 pack Shuttle Art pens. Eve 2023, and this is part 2. I finished it last night, so I've swatched all the pens. There are 180 pens with 180 refills. And I just want to share my experience to help others who may purchase this item. It's a great pen set. I had a couple that were duds, but I figured out how to get them running. And here is my finished swatch. Check it out. There it is. All my gel pens. Looks like a little computer printout, doesn't it? So there you have it. And I'll put the link below. You can download this for free from my website. And I just want to share. So I swatched all the colors. And now with the refills, finding the refills is a challenge. And it's made more challenging if you don't organize. So by that I mean, some people keep the pens in the case here, and that's because the pens are put in these drawers, I guess you call them, these holders, and each holder holds 20 pens, and at the end of each holder there's a number. They number each one. And the reason they number that is because with the refills, you get a bag of refills like this, and each refill has a number on it. I don't know if you can see that, number 4 there. So there's 9 different bags. So that tells you that the pens that were on this number 4 drawer or sheet or whatever, this holder here, if I need a refill, I go into the big bag of refills here, and then they get the smaller bags. I pull out the number 4 bag, and I know the refill is in here. So it's easier to find. You know, you're only looking for one of 20 pencils. So here's the number 4 bag. And so that goes for each drawer here, has a number on it. So you can see here, they number each one here. So you can find which bag to go for the refill. So that way you only have to find the pen among 20 other refills, so it's easier to find. So your choice is you can keep the pens in here so you know which drawer they're in and you know which bag to go to. Or, luckily, I didn't realize this at first, but because I swatched everything right away and I have it all numbered, I can tell, and I have it down here, I can tell which, because it's 20 pens per bag, and I swatched them in order. I took them out one at a time. So I can tell on my sheet which pens are in which bag. Like I can see, I don't know if you can read it here, but like number 1 is 281 to 301. Because I started at 120, because I already had 120 from my previous gel pen set. So the next pen was 121, was the first one in this set, the Shuttle Art. So I know that 121 for 20 pens to 140 or 141, that's bag number 1, etc. So actually bag number 9. I started at the end. I started with the last bag and I moved up to the first. But whatever, because I didn't realize at first the order that was going on. But because I swatched things in order, I know this 20 pens are bag 9, these next 20 pens are bag 8, next 20 pens are bag 7. So I'll know when a pen dries up, I'll know which bag to look in. So it'll be much easier, because if you just take the pens out and put them in glasses or something, then, then you have to go looking through all 180 and try to find the right refill. And that's like next, not impossible, but it'll be a lot more challenging. Whereas if you keep track, if you have some kind of order, so I strongly recommend some kind of order. This sheet works very well to keep them in order so you know which bag to look in. It'll make your life much easier. Or you can just keep the pens in the holder. I think a lot of people just keep the pens, but I don't like keeping it in the holder, because then you got to pull out each sheet one at a time. But I mean, you can do that because you can pull out each pen from the top. So I mean, it's up to you, but just be aware that there is an order for each drawer to match the refill bag. So you'll want to keep your gel pens in some kind of order, when you're taking them out, keeping the drawers in order. I did not realize that at first, but I'm glad I realized it now, and I'm very organized with my pens and my color pencils for some reason. I'm not normally the most organized person, but with my supplies, because of course, when you want to do some artwork, it helps to, it makes it so much faster when you can quickly find the pen you're looking for, the pencil. So that's why I'm always a stickler for getting an order here, getting them numbered. And so I put them all in this 300. I got 300 gel pens. I managed to squeeze them into a 300 slot sized bag. So you can just barely zip it. It will close. So I've got them all. I'm done now. I've got my full collection. Yeah, so there you have it. So again, I'll put a link below where you can download this sheet. And well, I love creating artwork for, coloring with the gel pens and the coloring books, or making original artwork with gel pens. I also enjoy using them with color pencil. And so just real quick, I'll show you an example of the type of thing I use my gel pens for that I didn't realize I could do before. I had never thought of before I started, watching other YouTubers with their coloring tricks and learning so much. I'm so grateful to everyone who shares their art techniques with a color pencil and gel pens. It's been so helpful. And so what I'm going to do here is I drew this, I colored in this with Crayola color pencils. They're just some Christmas ornaments. Since it is Christmas Eve, I thought I would do something a little Christmassy here. And I just, quickly did, coloring in with the color pencils. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the gel pens with the glycerin and just add more, because you can only get so dark. I mean, I didn't color very heavily here or anything. I just sort of put a few layers on, but with the gel pens you can add so much more vibrancy. So I am going to do the trick that I learned from Coloring Bliss there. I get the Scotch tape, and I'm going to put the Scotch tape down so that I can put the gel pen ink on top of this to then pick up with the glycerin and paint with it. All right. So I got a few pieces of Scotch tape, and then I'll just put a little line around the Scotch tape because it's difficult to see. So I know where it is there. And then I've got my glycerin. I get this kind of glycerin, whatever kind of vegetable glycerin I use. I put it in a little glass. I already have some in there because it just lasts forever. Like, it doesn't dry up like water or anything. Like, you have it for a long time. So I, recommend you find a little holder or something and just keep it to the side, because you can use it day after day. Basically never, it seems like it never runs out. And of course, so I'm gonna just add some more vibrancy to the ornaments here. So I can go to my sheet, and I've got a lot of sparkle colors I can use. I can make it pinker. I'm thinking with the red one, maybe I'll go a little bit more purpley red. Maybe this kind of color here. Got some wonderful colors. These are all Shuttle arts. This bottom section, the 2/3 on the bottom. The top part is the creative inspirations, and all this is the Shuttle arts. So you can see they have a wide variety of colors, dark to light, a lot of sparkles, the pastels, the neon, you get everything. It's really a wonderful collection. So let's see, which color do I want to go with for my ornament? I'm thinking the one I numbered over here, 128. So of course I have my pens numbered in here. I'll show you, I just used a Sharpie and numbered them all. I don't know if you can see it clearly or not. So let's see. All right, so I got 128 right here. I can find it very quickly. They just fit in here. It's a little tight, but I got them in there. 300 pens and a 300 sized pen holder there, pencil holder. All right, so this is 128. Then I get out my little cheap, acrylic type brush here, a little flat brush, get it ready. And I just take the pen and just scribble on to the, on top of the Scotch tape. And it's the matte Scotch tape so that it has some friction, that you can get the color down. kind of a large ornament, so I'm gonna make sure I get a lot of ink on here. I mean, you could do this a few different ways. I mean, I could color straight on the ornament and then pull it out with the glycerin, but I feel like painting just with the glycerin, so I'm gonna just take my brush, dip it into, I have to have paper towel. My paper towel ready. Dip it a little, get a little glycerin. I usually put a lot of glycerin on it. So we will just use a little. And then just start painting. Start the paints. If I want to make it a little lighter, I can just add some more glycerin in there, sort of, so I can fan it out, blend it out. And I can get it all in there, what I'm doing. So yeah, so this really helps to make my color pencil even more contrast. And it's fun. And when you're in a coloring book, because I have the color pencil down first, it creates a buffer on the paper so that when I'm using this glycerin, which is like a liquid, it helps from damage. You don't damage the paper that way because it goes on top of the color pencil, so it doesn't warp your paper this way as it might with water, or even if you were just putting the glycerin on the paper, it might warp the paper and cause the paper to ball up, which I had happen when I was doing it. I was using, this is just cheap drawing paper. So I had done some drawing with gel pen, colored it all and just did all gel pen, and then I was going on top of it with glycerin and the paper started balling up. So now I just the best way I think is to that I found is to put the color pencil on first. Especially with the cheap paper, you want to put the color pencil on first layer and then put the glycerin and gel pen on top of that, and your paper isn't harmed by it. Yeah, so if I wanted to make it a little more dramatic, I just go straight in with the gel pen. Then I can, because there's a lot of glycerin on there already, I can just pull it out. I'll blend it in a little bit more. I keep it round, make sure I don't ruin the shape. Yeah. I just love doing this with gel pens. I think the gel pen with the color pencil is such a nice combination. It's fast and easy. You get very dark, dramatic, or a lighter look. You know, you use the lighter gel pens to put some highlights in. I may do that later. And you do have to give it a little time, of course, to dry, because the gel does take a while to dry. Like I said, the gel in the glass lasts forever. So, but when you have it on the paper, it does dry, but it takes a little while. You could give it a 10, 15 minutes to completely dry. There you have it. There is my first ornament. Yeah, let's do one more. I got a yellow one over here. I can get that in there. Now I'll choose a yellow color. So I'm just going to wipe off my brush with a paper towel. And I think I'll use a gold color on this. So I had used yellow and Harvest Yellow from the Crayola set. Now I'm going to get a gel pen, a gold gel pen that I have. This one's from Creative Inspirations. It's a nice gold one. They both have nice gold ones, but I'm just grabbing this one. And again, just you can see a little bit. I don't know how much my camera, there we go, I'll move down a little bit. Yeah, you can see, okay. Just get a little bit of gold on there. It's a pretty dark gold color. So you got a dark gold color and a lighter gold colors. They give you a nice, no. And again, put that right there. Dip it into gel, the glycerin, mix it around. And then go in and just paint it directly on. So if you enjoy painting, you'll really love this. I do. And again, I want to blend that out. So I'm dipping my brush in again to a little bit of glycerin and then coming back in and blending that out so it fans out nicely. So this is just a simple example, using the simple shapes of the ornaments, but as you can imagine, you can go do so much with this coloring technique, because now you can get really professional, I think, looking results. And again, I can just go, now that I have glycerin all over, I can just go in with the gold if I want to make it even more dramatic, more contrast. It might be too much of a line. I should color that in a little bit more. Still new at this, still figuring it out. Yeah, that's a little better. I think I'll do the same over here too. I'm going to wipe this off. Go back to the previous color here. And instead of leaving an outline, I'm going to color it in a little bit more with the gel pen. And then because there's still a lot of glycerin on there, it blends. See, it just blends so nicely. There's so much more you can do with gel pens than I originally thought. I originally thought of gel pens just with writing, right? You can do so much more. You can paint with them. Love it. There you have it. 2 ornaments that I have used the gel pens with the color pencil, and well on my way to making a very nice Christmas ornament drawing. All right, so that's it. Just wanted to show you. So I hope you enjoyed this. Thanks for watching. Merry Christmas. Bye-bye.